Awesome. How about you, Lindsay? What inspired you?
You know, I was basically trying to get my music heard. I had this great idea of dancing around and playing the violin to electronic music, and nobody could see the vision of it. And I went to record labels, I went to talent agencies, I went door to door with DVDs to places in Vegas, trying to get anybody to listen to my music and give me a chance. And I got so sick of being told, no, you just don't fit our mold, you just aren't what we're looking for, you're unmarketable. I got so sick of hearing that, you know, I just was like, well, I know how to produce videos. I'm going to start putting them up online. And what wasn't marketable actually worked. So that's, and I remember my music started to sell, people started to listen to it. So I was like, there is something awesome about this YouTube world, and I dove in full force.
Joe, when did you start creating videos?
I started creating videos when I realized that we're not asking Tyler one question. No, it was back in 2005 or so. I started very, very early on YouTube, and all these people were just like recording vlogs at the time, which were brand new. It was just talking to the camera for maybe like 10, 15 minutes, and with like a webcam and black and white, and everyone was starting to get DSL, so everybody was excited about finally watching videos that didn't look like on YouTube with the dial-up connection. I'm old, wow. And I was like, I can do it too. So I started playing around with video editing tricks, and eventually brought the music into my channel too.
Oh wow. Tyler, when was your first video uploaded, and what got you started?
My first video was actually uploaded in 2008, and I didn't really start putting consistent videos out until 2010.
Okay.
So you had that channel, you're like, what do you do with it? But I was inspired by this crazy band called Boyce Avenue. And I was like, oh, they do these covers. I'm like, I can do that. So I just did that and then incorporated original music. So inspired by another YouTube band, actually.
Oh wow. So this is for all of you, and I want you guys to all have a chance to answer this. What is the creative process when, what do you do when creating a video, and how do you determine that if it's successful or not, other than just views?
That's a good question. I used to do 2 videos a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. That was before I realized, good thing I wear sunglasses, because I'm constantly baggy-eyed and my eyes are bright red. Not for the reasons that you're thinking. But yeah, it's, for me it's a constant process. I'm looking around and I'm seeing a pen and I'm like, what can I do with pen? What can I do with HOLLENS or Lindsay or Tyler? Or like what, I'm constantly having to be thinking about my next video idea and like what's cool out there, what's trending. Not Sheryl Lazar, but like what's actually like trending out there. And yeah, that for me, I just kind of happen on ideas. A lot of times like when my car alarm went off, and like a friend of mine started beatboxing to the car alarm, I was like, that's genius, let's do it. Or sometimes I watch a commercial, I'm like, that was so poorly done, I'm going to do a good version of that on my channel. So that kind of stuff.
Yeah, cool. Lindsay?
I think just along with what you're saying.
No, Tyler, he doesn't get to speak today.
I'm trying to mix it up.
Yeah, it works.
So it's unpredictable.
I bet you're next. Yeah, I love just taking inspiration from what's around me, and like, for example, I have a folder that I just put things in, or if I'm, on a plane and I see a really cool, I'll buy a magazine, and on the plane I'll rip out that page of magazine because it has a really beautiful picture in it that inspires my mind, and I'm like, that could be a music video setup right there, and I'll take that, or I'll be online surfing the internet, and I'll be like, now that is a beautiful dress, and I'll put it, so just constantly taking from the world around you and then creating it into your own thing by combining all these random pictures and images that I have in these little folders or whatever they are, is something that really helps my mind thinking. It's hard to think from a blank slate. And for me, I just love contrast. I love a lot of, like violin with hard rock music, violin with dubstep. I love things that usually aren't supposed to go together, and so I think that's what I use for a lot of my inspiration, is throwing things together sometimes that you would expect, but a lot of times things that you wouldn't expect, and that's, I think, makes things fresh.
I also buy beautiful dresses online. For myself, just for the weekend.
How about you, Tyler? Yes, you were next.
Yeah.
Now the question is, what what inspires you?
Well, what's no, that was the first question.
Oh.
The question now is, what is the creative process when creating a video?
For me, it's always been about making sure the song is right. So I'm actually kind of new, fairly new to making sure the video component is just as good as the music production. And so I'm learning and actually taking a lot of ideas from this girl over here, this guy over here. Peter Hollens, not so much, but it's for me. It's just watching other people's videos and getting ideas like, oh, that was great, like a commercial or something like that. Like I would love to do that, and implement that in my music video. So just inspiration from all over. There's so many great creators here in Vidcon, and like just on the internet, you're just like, that was an amazing idea. I'm gonna take it and twist it, make my own.
Is there any idea specifically you can share?
That I can share?
Yeah, where you saw a video that inspired you.
No comment.
They put you on the spot.
I still plenty of things I can tell.
Peter, how do you determine success when you upload a video? Is it, I mean, other than views?
The hard question. I was about to tell you how I made a video.
Well, do that first.
Oh no.
And then I'll ask you that second question.
Yeah, sure. Well, so I break it down, just a normal concept like everybody else usually. I have incorporated an amazing team over the last decade of people in the acapella world. It is a small niche, and we've been working together for a long time in other groups. And so I actually incorporate people who are better than me in different things. So I'll come up with a rough arrangement, and then I work with my arranger to finalize it. And then I go into my studio and I'll sight read, you know, between 8 and maybe 13 different parts, and I'll record each of them 2 to 4 times, and usually get a track somewhere between like 60 and 100, and, 115, 116 tracks. And then we add things like music violins and stuff. Yeah, and so that's how I make my music. How do you define success? I think having an audience that is engaging and that talks back to you. I have adored getting my last, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 songs all from my audience that, you know, I'm like, that's the most wanted song, I'm going to do it. And I think that's really great. I think it's really important to be genuine to your audience, make sure that they know that you're listening and incorporate their ideas. And I love that. And so if they're engaged, I know they're engaged, and it's very authentic and genuine. That's how I think it's successful.
How about you, Lindsay? How do you determine success?
Well, there's
62 million views. That's a failure for Lindsey Sterling.
I didn't use it. Oh, yes, I did. So I think, you know, it's easy to say, oh, a bunch of views is success, but I found some of the videos that I really like have not been as successful as I thought they would be. And, you know, for something to go viral, you can't always determine that. You can't gauge your success off of it, otherwise you'll be very discouraged a lot of times. But I will say, you know, some videos are meant to try to find kind of new audience. Oh, this will hit a different demographic and it'll bring me more subscribers, you know, and it will, you know, share my music with more people. Other videos are meant, this one I know my fans will love. And I think what's most important to me is, how did my fans feel about it? Whether or not it went viral outside of my fans, you know, these are my supporters right here. Did they like it? And if I keep those people happy, I'm happy. And so if you can't, like, for example, my Fan of the Opera video did not do nearly as well as I thought it would. It wasn't viral at all.
But it was awesome.
But my fans really liked it, and I love it, and and I think that's what makes it successful, is if your fans, your friends like it.
Tyler.
It's so interesting. I'm kind of opposite now of Lindsay, because I've done that before, where it's like, oh, I think these people are gonna like it, and I don't necessarily like it. But so I've learned that, like, if it's really true to me and I love it, regardless of the response of anybody else, I'm like, this is successful. So I'm like, and generally when it's you love it and you like it, most people who are your core fans are gonna appreciate it and like it. But I think if you do yourself justice, you're like, I really like this. And I don't think anything else really matters, to be honest. And that's successful to me. Is that selfish?
Very selfish.
Just a little bit.
I mean, as an artist, you know, you have to be happy with the stuff that you're putting out. I don't think that's selfish at all. You know, a little selfish maybe.
I don't care if you don't like it, I like it. No, I don't know, I don't know. It's interesting. It's been a battle and a struggle actually this last year too. It's like, instead of doing it for others, I started learning to do it. I love this.
Yeah. Thank you.
But I think what you said is the most important thing, because honestly, your fans found you because you were doing what you love.
Yes.
So it's like, if you love it, you can't fake authenticity, and so if you genuinely love what you're doing, that's why your fans found you in the first place. And I think you have to work so hard to be a YouTuber, you know, in any type of artistry. You kind of have to love what you're doing or you'll go crazy, you know? You have to genuinely be passionate about it. To be able to have those bags under your eyes and not be going crazy, you have to love it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the number one question that I get is people saying like, I have like 30 videos that I've put up, none of them have hit, I've tried the pranks, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried all these different things, and I think that they're going to go viral, but no, it never does. I'm like, well, don't. You know, what do you like doing the most? Do that, because every single artist is awful when they first start. No one starts out playing a violin amazingly. No one starts singing amazingly. No one starts editing amazingly. You're always going to be really, really, really bad at first. And the really good, that's sorry. You're upset. But that's not true. You know, some, of course, you know, like a natural gift. Some people have natural gifts for singing or blah, blah. But you know, if we really, it's all about they say 10,000 hours, right? To make a genius or an artist. You know, if you spend the 10,000 hours that it takes for you to really master something, then you're going to start thinking about it in the way that no one else is going to be thinking about it. You know, and that's, you know, whether that's a new way to put a composition together, a new location, you know, to show off, you know, a new like camera move, or a new way to like cover a song. You know, you take like a pop song and cover it in a certain way that no one has before, or you know, any kind of like fancy editing tricks. I think that's the way to do it. And for me, the measure of success for me is whether or not my parents call me and was like,
yeah, if mom likes it, that's always good. If mom likes it, it's done well.
What are the main challenges? You know, let's say if you kind of, you know, hit like this dam and you can't get over it when you're trying to create a concept.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do to deal with that?
Well, there are a bunch of challenges. You know, some of the main ones are mostly self-imposed. You know, being able to keep up with the schedule. Like I make a video every Thursday, so that's a huge challenge. You know, and it's every single Thursday. It's not like a TV show where it's like we're going on hiatus. There's no hiatus. You know, you have to keep going. It's not like a movie where sure you work your butt off for 2 years, but then you know it's like okay, great, let's go have parties and watch movies over and over and over and over again. You know, with YouTube, it's like okay, here we go. It's kind of like playing basketball. You know, it's as soon as you get the basket, you have to run right back and start working to get the basket again. It's not like soccer where you know, or like football where if you get a touchdown or if you get a goal, you can like do cartwheels and things like that. You know, it's like a constant game of basketball. At least that's how I see it.
Tyler?
What's the question? I'm just the main challenges. We'll pass it on real quick to Pierre Hollens.
Awesome, Tyler.
I didn't know we could do that. Can I call a friend?
You finally got your turn, and you passed.
I was so interested in what you were saying. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I was like,
That's the last question.
Or you can ask the audience next time.
Yeah. So I think the main challenges for me are probably just always trying to keep on improving and keep on improving the craft, and always trying to learn from what I'm doing, and because I am much newer than you guys, I really do love focusing on what my fans like, and so I will go and investigate it. Like I wasn't that huge into Lord of the Rings as most people, and I was getting a lot of requests for a certain song in Lord of the Rings, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch the episode and see the emotion and try to bring that into the song. And
You just willy-nilly decided to watch Lord of the Rings?
well, I mean, I've seen
Who's
it,
gonna watch it
but
to
I
see
wanted
the
to know the
emotion?
context of the really pretty song I was listening to. No, so challenges are, I think, always improving. Because I don't have cool sunglasses like you. I can't look cool in my videos. I have to like try to sing good and stuff. That's all I got.
So this is a really random question. question, and it's one that I think about a lot. Do you guys know the name of the trolls that follow you? Are there any that stick out? You don't have to tell me their names. Just I'm just curious. I'll probably get kicked out of
You know mine?
I
It's me.
I was gonna say it's probably you, that's why.
Tyler the Troll.
I actually don't know the name of the people that troll my channel. I know they're there. But you know what? It's funny, the ones that really stand out are the people that are my biggest supporters. Like I know they're the ones that, maybe it's because I choose to focus on them and I've just decided to ignore the other ones. But yeah, those are the ones, there's some people, I know their names, I know their faces. I see, you know, I'm right there in front, I know you, hi. So, you know, it's, I think that's what's more important to focus on. And that's
What about you, Tyler? I mean, are there any jerks that continue to follow you and comment on your videos?
Peter. Why am I the butt of every joke? Now, Peter always leaves super nice comments. It's great. I'm always like, oh, Peter commented. It's like,
So I like you, and you're a good guy. Honestly, you're a good guy.
man crush.
no, I think in the
My
beginning.
wife's out there.
In the beginning, yeah, I followed that because it was just much smaller base. And I was like, man, where's Ricky Sick? He hate me. And I was like, God, he must not. But then I was like, you know what? Screw that. And then I stopped figuring. I saw the positive comments. And I was like, and that was it. Let's focus on the positives because the negatives always bum me out. And then I just forgot about it because moving on. Okay.
I have a cool thing to bring in there, and I talked to Tyler about it last night at dinner, but have you guys seen the new thing that Google just brought out with like its YouTube backslash? And I think that'll actually help a lot for you to be able to find out who are your top fans.
You're one of my top fans. I looked it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that the first time you actually learned how to say my name right? Or
Jared. You mean Jared Hollis?
Yes, Jared.
I have a baby troll called Weiler Tard. I don't know who it is.
Thanks for naming them.
Weiler Tard.
They got it.
What are some plans you guys all have moving forward that maybe the mainstream public don't know about? Peter?
Oh, I was going to say, I have a plan of this amazing video that I made with this violinist girl who's sitting right here. And it's coming out this week and it's amazing. And I'm so excited.
Probably the most fun I've ever had shooting a video. So we're excited about it.
That's not true.
Oh my god.
I have shot a video with you too.
Oh yeah, I did class. Sorry.
Lindsay, what exciting plans do you have coming up?
Oh man, well I'm touring a lot. So I'm touring to Asia this week. I leave to go to Asia for a couple of weeks or about a month. I'm excited about that. But then I have been neglecting my YouTube channel because I've been touring so much this year. I think I've only done a video every other month. But these coming last months of the year, I'm going to be doing at least 1 or 2 videos every month. So that's what's exciting for me, is I'm getting back on my YouTube A game. So one of them's coming out this week.
Yay! Tyler, do you have any plans moving forward that excite you?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm actually searching for and doing having a bunch of interns for my video people. And so I'm putting together a team that's going to be super solid. That's going to shoot all of my videos and bring them up the quality up. But also have a video that no one's seen yet either. Like a girl on violin, and we ride a horse together. Yeah. It's an original song.
That sounds a little scandalous.
It's completely G-rated.
I'm gonna stop talking.
Well, yeah, I've been writing a lot lately, now that I've learned English. So I'm writing a movie now. I'm only about 20 pages into it, but I've got a good outline of where it's going. I'm starting to do some pitches. So I know that movies take forever to get done, and 3 years from now I'll be like, my movie was ready, guys. But you know, it's fun. It's very different from what I'm used to, which is fun.
Awesome. That's great.
Thank you. And I also want to do a lot of collabs, so if you guys are available, let's collab it up.
As soon as you can pronounce my name correctly.
I know your name, Jared. Do you take it easy?
I also want to share one thing that was really crazy with what YouTube did for me in the future of my career. It's cool. It's like because of that platform, because of putting out videos consistently, I was able to record like my first like major label album, and that comes out in October. So
And it's awesome.
Really good.
I love it. It's really good. You have to buy it. Please. It's really good.
He's super excited.
Hey, bud.
Very awkward sitting between you.
So I once started a channel and I got overwhelmed and I quit after 2 weeks. A lot of people call me fat and I didn't get it. With that said, Joe, how many hours a day do you work? Because it was so exhausting to me. So.
How many hours a day do I work? It's between 36 and 82 hours a day. You have to work so fast that you actually exceed the speed of light and go back in time. So if you watch the movie Primer and actually understood it, that's how it works. You constantly have to be on. I mean, you know, especially because my wife also runs a company called Big Frame, and you know, it's just so much work that, you know, we're getting calls at like 11:30 at night from Peter Hollens being like, "Oh, my channel."
I actually really like his wife. She's really awesome.
Thanks, I like your time.
I do come back to that.
So, you know, between the two of us, we're like constantly having to do something. You know, whether that's prepping for a video for me, shooting a video, editing a video. You know, I've done an entire behind the scenes, like from start to finish, of like one of the most simplistic videos that I've ever done in my life. And I put the whole thing up on my second channel, and I shot it all with a GoPro that I was holding all day long, and it was a 6-hour-long video. And people were like, "I thought those took you like half an hour to do." And I was like, on my birthday. And yeah, so it's a lot of work, but it's fun, you know. So I keep it up.
Did you say 60 hours?
6.
Oh, okay.
If it was 6, I've done some videos where it was 60 hours. I think the video that took the longest for me was
Mario Brothers?
that took long.
I love that. That was
yeah,
so
the Mario Brother videos where it was back to forth for 4 days. But in a month of time, it was definitely a Twitter video where every single time that I would tweet, I would get I would change my avatar and then get another screenshot, so that, you know, like throughout the times, it was like me playing guitar and stuff like that on the Twitter video. And some people got it, like throughout it. They were like, "Wait a second, your icon, your avatar now is ever so slightly different from the one yesterday. What is going on?" I was like, "How do you tell the difference between this and this?" It's crazy.
Tyler. So Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong, I understand you have a young family, and you probably work a lot of hours. How do you balance your time?
did you say I have a young family?
Yes.
I think that's Peter Hollens.
Wait.
Oh wait,
I'm
Peter,
married.
you're married, so.
Hi. Not Tyler. Yes. What's the question? Wait, here's a question for my wife. How do you deal with me working so much? Yeah. How do you want me to answer that?
Well, no, how do you balance your time to be able to spend, I guess, more time with your wife?
I ask her to sing with me so that we spend time together. I have a problem. It's actually called working. And I never leave my house except for when she tells me I have to take the dog on a walk. It's a true story. I love working, and I will wake up at like 3 a.m. and I'll be like, "Oh, it's like 3 hours since I went to bed. I'm gonna check my email," and then I might not go to bed again. I mean, I have a problem. And it's called YouTube. I don't
get sunglasses.
I need to go see it. I need to add some. I don't have an answer to that.
I think that's the problem with when your passion becomes your job, because it's really hard to draw the line of, you don't even realize that you've become a workaholic, because when you really genuinely love what you do, it's really hard to stop.
Amen.
And so I think that's why YouTubers can do what they do, but at the same time, it's why we're all like tired workaholics.
The funny thing too is we find, I find my relationships becoming YouTubers too. So it's like, we all do the same thing, and it's like when we have time to hang out, it's like, oh, Lindsay like comes over and hangs out. Like Peter and I will go to dinner. What's your name? So that's cool. It's like it's not only like what we all do and what we love. It's like just a family. It's a community. So like.
And you know, starting with channels that are just a little bigger than you, cross-pollinating and working with other people, you know, did a ton for me when I first started. And you know, as I've gotten bigger and bigger as a channel, and things have gotten crazier and crazier, it's you know, it's hard to keep up with content, as we've talked about. And I think one of the coolest things you can do to collab with maybe bigger artists is by making it easy for them. And Peter is a perfect example of the last collab we did. I was just off tour, I was running somewhere else, and I was like, Peter, I just don't know when I'm gonna have time. And he made it so easy for me. He's like, fly in, I'll have my crew ready. You know, I called my friends, he's got costumes, and anyways, and so that is, I think, a big part of advice. And when I was first starting and trying to collab with bigger channels, I would contact people and I would make it as easy for them as possible. I'd be like, I have a song written, all I have to do is sing on it, or, you know. And so collaborating with people and making it, you know, doing all the work you can to make it a good experience on both sides, I think is a great way to grow your channel quickly.
The way to collaborate with people that may not know who you are is definitely by having a skill set that they don't. So like I collaborate with a lot of people who do like 3D effects because I don't know how to do any 3D things. I collaborate with a lot of musicians because I'm not that great of a musician. You know, I'm good with like putting music together, but I'm not. You know, I can't play the guitar that well. I can't, believe it or not. I can't. Like I can't play the violin. I can't sing to save my life. If you saw my main stage performance this morning, you would see. So, you know, it's always, you know, if you have a skill that you're really, really good at, that you're working on, and you don't have to be perfect at it, you go up to someone who needs that skill, and you say, I can do this, and by Friday of next month, I can have this and this Friday of next month. That's very not specific. Don't say that. But by like a certain date, I can have a song ready for you. Like when you collaborate with me, it's like I will pick you up from your house.
Right. I contacted Joe. I was like, I will pick you up at this time, and I will be. You know, when are you available? I'll come anytime. You know.
Yeah, basically, it's like you have to just exist. That's all you have to do, and then the collaboration will be ready. And I was like, sure.
And he was there. He existed, and there worked.
I exist.
Mr. Guitar Man is real?
I'm not real, but I exist.
You know what? One thing that this group is there anything any of you would like to add to been said just recently? No? One thing that they've requested is that they could hear from you and have more than like 6 minutes to be able to answer your questions. So we actually have 20 minutes left, and we want to dedicate it to all of you. Okay, sweet. So, Mr. Technology Dude, do we have like a mic, or should we just have him yell?
That's his actual name, Mr. Technology.
I can use one of the mics off.
Okay, well, that'd be awesome.
Hi.
Do you want a mic? Like the
This is the coolest
Yeah,
thing.
let's do it. Thank you. So if you have questions, go ahead and keep your hands up.
So put your hands up.
Put your hands up.
That's right.
It's like shy version of the single lady.
How's that going?
Oh, that's what you're singing. Word.
Who's first?
This must be one of those like Peter Hollens jams.
It's a good dream.
Just
You're on the spot.
Hello. Yes, sir. Whose name begins with a T? Hi, my name's Matt. Hold on. No one can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll just... Hold on, let's see.
There you go.
There we go.
It's Matt.
So one of the things that I've always wondered is there's the continuing piece of advice that I seem to hear a lot is do what it is you love, do what you're passionate about. One of the things, though, that I think of is that, well, a lot of what I'm passionate about seems to be done already, or, you know, it seems to be done in one form or another. So, I mean, what would you say to those people where it's like, I really like this, especially when it comes to music, because a lot of people are doing music. What would you say to those who seem to think that, oh, I'm really passionate about this, but it seems like there's so many other people already doing that?
Gotta find a way to make it your own, man. And throw that creative element that sets you apart from everybody else.
Yeah, if you do it enough, it'll be different, you know, because you can have your own spin into it, and maybe take whatever your second passion is, and throw it in. So for me, my second passion is music, you know. My first passion is creating cool visuals, you know. And at first I was just creating cool visuals, and people were like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. But then you like throw music into it, and it's like, oh wow, that's really cool. You know, so like, whatever your second passion is, if you like riding horses, play a ukulele when you're riding horses, you know, or something like that. That's dangerous, don't do that, don't listen to anything that says.
So Tyler, I really like the story behind Wanted. Like Lindsay, I really like the concept of dancing in the rain for your Elements video. Peter, really like the Disney medley that you guys are doing, the whole concept behind that. So my question is, like, how much control over the creative process are you guys involved in? Are you staying up late night, like storyboarding all this stuff, or is it more comfortable to delegate this sort of work now to other people?
I pretty much do all the concepting myself, and I like that. That's part of the fun for me. So like when people, you know, for certain projects have tried to take it away or say, we can edit it, I'm like, no. And I made a mistake on an editing project the other day, and I remember everyone's like, you can fire your editor. And I was like, I am my own editor. Like on all my behind-the-scenes stuff and everything. I was like, oh. But no, I mean, I enjoyed doing all of that, and kind of, I was storyboarding when I was at Tyler's house last time. Oh, did you guys have? Oh, okay.
Okay. Sorry, I'm very nervous to ask this because I was doing this yesterday too, and I got really scared. But
Good for you.
Tyler,
for doing this.
Tyler, you said that you were looking to build interns or a team. I direct, I edit. I direct, I edit, I draft. I've directed websites from 2 different web series. I really just want to be part of YouTube. The only thing, I want to be a director. I want to be like a freelance director like it was, you know, back in the studio days, and also bring my own stuff to it. But I want to work with the best YouTube artists that you were saying. So,
Where's your resume? Can we have it?
I don't have a resume, but I do have a card. I do have a card. My reel is on my YouTube. So
Where do you live, bro?
LA. Well, I live in Long Beach, so I live here.
You can just travel up, hang out. Not even kidding. You can do a few videos. We'll see how it goes.
I'll edit for you to start, or I'll just do. I will run your copy. I do not care.
Not even kidding. Absolutely.
Tyler does a drink coffee.
Precedent.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Kind of random questions for Joe. Do you have any other sunglasses besides the one you're wearing?
Actually, not at the moment, because at one point I was like, I kept losing sunglasses because I lose things. I don't want to call myself a loser, but I lose things. And yeah, like companies send me sunglasses sometimes, and I've tried wearing them, and people are like, what is this? Like they've kind of become part of my face. So at one point I was like, I went to this specific company, which I won't mention, and because they won't work with me. They're like, we only work with people who do sport. I was like, you are not smart about that. And I bought 12 different ones on bulk. And I was like, I will never lose these again. And if I do, I have 11 others. And these are my last ones. It's like a logarithmic scale on how many glasses I have. Like I had 12, and then a week later I had 1, and I've had 1 for the past 2 years because I hang on to it for dear life.
All right, Lindsay.
Remember when I saw you a few days ago and I told you I'd ask that dumb question?
Oh.
Well, now is that dumb question.
Here's your chance.
Yes. Made a little personal. If you, out of all the dreams that you've had and everything, which one would you actually like to live out?
It's a great question.
What would I like to live out of my dreams?
Like dreams, like when you're sleeping? Dreams?
Any dream you have,
Like
which one?
sleeping?
No, like my passion. Well, aside from...
No, like actually sleeping. You're dreaming about it.
Oh, those are very strange.
You could write a song.
Do it.
I would say, honestly, a dream that I have not fulfilled yet is I want to have a family someday. I'm very close with my family, and I think, I want to get married, I want to have kids, and be a violinist as well.
All right, everyone, one big aw. 3, 2, 1.
That's a good answer, though.
It's the truth.
I used to have this thing called lucid dreaming that you guys should try out. Basically, yeah, trust me. I was writing like a thing about a story about it, and basically you can control your dreams, and it's a way of state of being that you have to be right before you fall asleep.
But we need the
Wait,
glasses.
this works?
Yeah. You don't need glasses. This actually works. And basically, you can figure out like switches and things like that. You can read up on it that you're in a dream, and then you can control it. But the first time that I tried to control a dream, and I was at first I would just realize that I'm in a dream and then wake up. But then you can stay longer and longer and longer. And then finally, I could stay in the dream for a long time, and I was like, I can do anything. It's a dream. And I saw a window, and I was like, I'm going to bust through that window, start flying out, and run as fast as I can, and I hit the window, and I wake up on the floor.
Did you recently watch Inception?
I had just finished watching this.
You wrote that.
I don't get any, I don't even, I'm sorry.
It's a dream. You will wake up.
I feel like I'm dreaming now.
Yeah.
My question is primarily for Lindsay because I found out about your music not through YouTube but just through word of mouth from one of my friends, and I heard a lot of it before I ever saw videos.
Oh, cool.
So for you guys as musicians, which is more important or I guess more effective, the exposure you get from just music by itself or the exposure you get from YouTube?
That is a good question. YouTube has been definitely the medium, that's why people, that's where everything came from, was my music. I couldn't get anybody to play it 2 years ago. And then through YouTube, that's, it became popular enough, I guess, that people were wanting it on Pandora, so they started streaming on Pandora. And a lot of people now find me through that. But songs don't, they would never have gotten there if I wasn't constantly feeding this YouTube channel. And tours as well, I always try to put out a video around when I announce a new tour because that's what feeds so YouTube is what drives all the other things. It's my little nest.
It's a nice nest.
Thank you.
What do you guys be doing if you couldn't be doing YouTube or any of your music?
Ooh, that's depressing. What would we do if you were?
You want to hear the scariest thing ever? I was studying to be a cardiothoracic surgeon before I started doing YouTube. So I would be operating on your heart and lungs right now. Probably playing music on your rhythm.
What would you do?
Oh, I have a second passion to be a school teacher and a football coach.
I was studying to be a therapist, a recreational therapist. I was going to work with troubled teenagers in rehab facilities. And I did it for a little bit, and I will probably go back to this.
What's a recreational therapist? Do you do it for fun?
No, you do fun things to help people overcome challenges. You do art with them and music, or you take them rock climbing, and you help them overcome. I worked with troubled teens, and we would go out and do stuff. And so it was the fun therapy. I was the fun therapist.
You know what's fun is that you're giving therapy to many, many, many more than you would have ever touched.
That's right. I'm still a recreational therapist.
I probably would have been a choral director, but that's still kind of music, but that's what I was doing. I have no idea. I'd be playing alternate frisbee because it's awesome. And lots of video games, and probably I wouldn't have a wife. There's no reason why she'd ever get with me. Marry me if I couldn't sing, probably.
I have no game, so it was like serenation or nothing. So yeah, that's too much information.
I imagine you like super jacked with like pictures of like frisbees that you're holding, cutouts of you with frisbees.
Jared is buff. You should meet him.
Yeah,
Jared.
Jared Hollens.
Yeah, just find out for Lindsay, you're a great musician and a dancer, and it's hard to find the combination between the two. Any recommendations for other musicians who want to do that? Because I've seen it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, how did you?
Recommendations for learning to dance and play?
Exactly. Because you get the great tone. I mean, when we move around, it's like it's still in tune. Versus so.
You gotta practice like a nerd. I remember when I first started trying this whole dancing violin thing, it was very, very simplistic. It basically involved like an occasional stomp on a downbeat that had like one long note so I wouldn't mess up. You know, it was all extremely choreographed in the beginning, and it was like a lean here, a look there, and then smile when I hit the A string. You know, it was very basic, and just you're practicing. Now I don't even have to choreograph, I can just freestyle. So I mean, it's been a process. I started doing when I was about 18. And that was a little bit ago.
How much do you dance live in your concerts? Are you dancing around like crazy?
Quite a bit.
Yeah. I haven't been before.
Oh, I haven't. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I jump. I do quite a bit.
Lindsay, I know I just met you a week ago, but another thing we have in common is that I also want to start a family.
That's a nice ring though. I picked that one out myself.
It's nice. Can I have it?
No, that's for my wife.
Hello. All of you are phenomenal, by the way. Absolutely beautiful. But as a side note, Lindsay kind of this, but where did you receive your training, and or when did you start creating the content that you do?
Sure, I'll go first. I started singing because my mom forced me to in high school, so I could drop my French class. It was horrible. I started taking voice lessons like my end of my junior year in high school, and then I took that through college because the only way I would ever graduate college was from a voice major because I wasn't that good at studying. Yeah, I started making content. I think my first video was like March of 2011, but I didn't start doing it full time until after Lindsay and I did Skyrim. Because then I was like, wow, I could actually do this as a living.
And now I picture you speaking French with the frisbee. C'est le frisbee.
I've taken violin lessons since I was 6, so I played for a really long time. And yeah, I just started, I wanted to make it fun because I kind of got burnt out on classical music, and so I started dancing and playing to the kind of stuff I liked, not just what everybody else, what violins are supposed to do. I was like, what do I like? I like funky fashion, I like dancing, and I like, you know, I like electronic music.
Did you teach yourself, or did you train your own dancing skills, or did you?
I did. I actually watched a lot of like YouTube tutorials on how to like moonwalk, how to fly.
Sick, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You know, and I watched so you could dance and be like, I can do that. I can put my leg like that. And just crazy self-taught.
I did the same thing. I started thinking like I can dance like that. Turns out that I couldn't.
Oh, I took 2 years of classical training at university for vocals, and then didn't sing in classical after that.
We should do Nessun Dorma together.
I did opera.
I did not know this.
I know, it's crazy.
You said we should do Nessun Dorma together?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That's the best.
I want to hear you guys do Nessun Dorma.
That'll be our next collab.
Perfect. See, I can sing. I had to teach myself. You know, I was going to, I was a pre-med student. I was about to take my MCATs, and I had been doing video, and I had been editing by myself, and you know, I just, again, I watched a bunch of tutorials all over the internet. There weren't many on YouTube at the time. It was just weird cat videos. Cats can be very helpful to when you're learning how to edit. So I kind of had to teach it all myself, how to shoot, and then I got like a bunch of free jobs around Boston, like shooting local commercials, the things that are like, hey, do you want to come on down to the barbecue store? Come on down. I edited a bunch of those. And then I just kind of went on from there and started learning more. I got a job at a rental house, so I learned what all the lights did, all the lenses did. My boss was super rich, so he bought like a red camera and was like, here, take this home for a week when it first came out. And I was like, for me? And I took it home and I broke an $80,000 lens.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he was weird. Like, he fired me 5 different times for different reasons. One was for being 5 minutes late. One was for finishing a sentence with an adjective. I do that all the time. You do that all the time. I don't know the preposition. I don't know where you're coming at.
Was he okay for breaking the 80,000?
He was totally fine. He was like, insurance will cover it. I was like, I literally thought that I was about to be dead. So yeah, that's where I learned with the crazy guy.
We have time for one more question.
Whoa.
You can come too. Last few questions.
Okay, sorry. Second to last question. P.S. Your first video was the Phantom of the Opera one, and I grew up on musicals, so that was my favorite video that got me hooked. So, Mad Yes. Yeah. So my question to all of you guys is, what is your favorite video that you've done, or one that you're most proud of, and why?
It's like a pig in a favorite baby.
I liked my Elements video because I was very proud. I built all those sets with like the fire. I figured out how to make it look like a fire set, and I lit things on fire. Anyways, I was very proud that I didn't hurt anybody and that I was still here and that it ended up looking good. So I was very excited on that one.
Mine was a thrift shop with Lindsey Sterling.
Ooh. Jared. Oh,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have to run. I'm
Okay,
so
that's
sorry.
fine.
Sorry, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gotta run. Thank you.
We have one more question.
Tyler Ward, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Bye, love.
Alright, what is your least satisfying video ever uploaded on YouTube about that is not taken down yet?
So what my favorite video is and what my least favorite video
Yes.
is. I think my least favorite video that I haven't taken down, I've taken so many videos down. Oh my gosh, that's hard. Yeah.
These are hard questions.
Yeah. Well, I've done a couple, not a couple, I've done 2 brand deals that I wasn't happy with. Because at first, I won't mention them because I don't want to, talk about the brands in a negative light because it's in my contract. But at first I thought that I couldn't have any responses back to them. Be like, no, that's not the kind of stuff that I do. I was just like, okay, I'll take the money, I'll make the movie. And I had this Mexican accent for some reason. And I'm from Brazil. So yeah, I have one brand deal that is out that I'm not too happy with the video, but I kept it up, and I've since learned that you can talk to brands and you can say no, and you can be like, no, I understand my audience better. Like if I make a video like this, they're gonna be super excited. And then my favorite video that I have up is a series that I did with a guy called Orlando Jones called Meridian, and it's like a 30-minute short film that is like a scripted thing. It was my first time that I was trying writing, and it's shot cinematically and kind of looks like a Lindsey Sterling video.
Ooh.
I think my most favorite video is a video I sang with my wife, Evan. Actually, it's called Prayer. And it was my dad's favorite, and he has since passed, but he loved that one. And so that means a lot to me because of that. My least favorite is also a video I did with my wife. And it just didn't work out well. You already know what I'm talking about. It was a song called Need You Now, and we tried to do some kind of cool disco-y up-tempo thing, and it failed, and I should take it down.
Oh, it's still
It is.
Should I take it down? You
No,
tell me. I'll ask you
I
later.
like it. my least favorite
Lisa,
video.
that's right.
If you say Skyrim, I'll be sad.
It's one I did a really long time ago, and it was when I was first starting trying to figure out how to keep up with content, and it's better, you know, so I basically just threw up this video because I needed something, and I did a collab with a pianist, and it's not my style at all. I'm just like jamming to his jazzy playing, and it's not a very good video.
You have it up, sir?
I think it's still up. It's there.
She's proud of her least favorite video stuff. It's like a child that you
I
like.
can't, yeah, even though I don't like it.
All right, guys, let's all give him a hand.